Ow, ouch, ow, wow. Whoa, no intro.
Hey,
What?
hey,
Come on.
listen. I mean, historically,
Yeah,
Josh, there has been an introduction.
yeah. I'll do it. Don't make me do it.
Don't make me come over there.
Ah, God, shit.
All right.
Woo, woo, there we go.
I was just gonna say now, and
You don't realize how much you miss it till it's gone.
no,
I mean,
and
honestly,
we don't,
that's
and
it.
we don't have to invest ourselves over much in recriminations about, who's responsible. In fact, my headcanon is that it never occurred at all. We had a brief incursion into another universe,
Yep.
and now we have returned to one that we appreciate, we enjoy.
agree.
Demetrius X, also a fan,
Yep.
right? Gathered throng, precious channel. It is I, your internet friend, Jeffrey K. Horcrims. And however it came to be, you've fallen ass backwards into Twitch's brewing show, Acquisitions Intoxicated, a show whose stated purpose and successful execution relies upon giving you that which you already own. Blueberry, and thank you so much. The art and science of brewing. I am joined, as almost always, by Acquisitions Intoxicated brewmaster Eric J. Benson, Edge Benson, Azerbaijan, the notorious EJB, and also our silent partner, Jesus Christ. No, not Jesus Christ. Although ostensibly, he permeates all real, the entirety of the real. No, I'm referring to our producer, Josh Price.
Can we talk? Can we refer to Josh Price as like our Spinderella? I feel like that's
exactly. In the same way that, like, it's like they call it salt and pepper, but it's like if it was just them doing those songs, like you could outside, at the corner, it's not really a band.
Yeah.
Right.
You need Spinderella.
We have Josh Price on the ones and twos. That's the takeaway. Right. Yes, indeed. Movies. Jorash Price. Now, a brief absence. We're not able to manage it. I mean, you were feeling ill. I was not physically present.
Yeah, and then you were really feeling ill. I mean, last week was the case of everybody's almost dying.
No, I was scourged.
Yeah,
I was scourged, and some are content to be scourged externally. Not me.
No. You really went full bore. You just drove it home.
No, I discovered a foolproof way. Beckenbauer, thank you. I discovered a foolproof mechanism. To scourge the inside of my esophagus.
Yeah.
By entering into a grim partnership with a bird. And we know for a fact that these birds are the inheritors of the terrible lizards known as dinosaurs.
Right.
So it's like some acting out, I guess. It's something like that.
There's a little retribution for, hundreds of thousands of years of, oppression.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, if we think about it, it's like, okay, maybe you have a point, chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, Brett, exactly right. But listen, we got there.
Somehow we're glad you're back and alive.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, occasionally do I feel a strange and unseemly pressure within. Yes. And that's the conviction of the Spirit. It means that I've sinned and come short of the glory of God. But it also means that there was some chicken too far in. Gamer Gout, thank you so much. No, we are doing as well as can be expected, perhaps even better than we deserve. Sauce, I did. In fact, I retweeted the same as if I recall correctly. Now, we've been away for a week, but that doesn't mean that we have forgotten the ancient rituals, the old ways, as we know are best. Do you have any grains that you need to introduce into your device?
I do, and it's real cool because my apartment has been smelling amazing all morning.
Has it already been working?
No, but there's things I had to do to prep it, right? So this is mutually assured destruction for the Blue Dragon. So first off, let's get into our malt build, which just smells amazing anyways because it's Pilsner and wheat malt, right?
Yeah. So it's got lots of structure.
Right.
It's gonna have the sort of orthogonal mouthfeel of the wheat against the Pilsner, which is making it most of the base.
So, and then we put the mosaic hops in there, both at the boil and then at whirlpool, right, for some flavoring. But really, what I'm talking about when I say my place is smelling great, you'll note in notes that we used ginger
crazy fruits.
Yes. So it's ginger root and orange zest. So I've been I was zesting oranges, but opening that bag of ginger root is amazing because I'm a ginger ale nut. I absolutely love ginger ale. So it was just like opening a bag of ginger ale. And that's basically what it smells like right now.
Intense flavors. Well, and obviously let's take full advantage of this product. So do you have anything but you do have the end point of the ritual, which is to push in that basket, right?
Yeah. I guess I could do that. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Let's take a look. But obviously, before we continue, thank you so much for all of the non-denominational well-wishing I was privy to there in that darkest time. The only way that I could retain my sanity during that grotesque event was to we gotta look into this microphone over here, huh? I feel like there's a lot of rattling. Don't you think? Pachow! Pacha! I love it. My favorite part of this show is now after the successful insertion, the thumbs up. Not unlike the T100, if you're familiar with science fiction. S.A. Wells, so nice to see you again. Always a pleasure. So yeah, I think that Eric's mic, we might have to like bring the threshold down on it or something. Yeah, Kindled Sky, this is just my normal office. I think that the way that it typically works is that the window is open and so it's sort of bright and blows all that stuff out. But you can get a sense, I guess, from here how many stringed instruments I have. I think if I just lean over here, I think that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stringed instruments.
Hey, was that at 420? Happy 420, everyone.
Just
did we not get
at
to
the
that yet?
visible. We haven't gotten around to it.
Okay.
But yeah, 5 stringed instruments. It's possible that I have an addiction. Although I think that Josh's addiction is probably greater than mine when it comes to music technology.
Look at this.
What a great see, and it's going to be even better for you today.
You see that carbonation? Good fucking Lord.
Yeah. It's just, we basically have to kiss the beer in order to make it visible on the can.
Woo.
Under Dogag, it would be a trivial matter. It would be a trivial. Oh, you're getting rid of 5 of them, Josh? Yeesh. But in my experience, there's really only 2 or 3 of these that I play constantly, and so it actually makes sense. Yes, S.A. Wells, I miss it also. I miss everything about the C Team. I miss running it. I miss hanging out with my friends. I miss beers at the Big Block Brewery afterward. I miss hanging out with Eric and writing the adventures. It's pretty universal. Oh yeah, as soon as it becomes a collection, for sure, some of it's got to go. So let me pour some of this.
Yeah. So this is Miss Shroud. You will remember.
Yeah, Gamer Gout. I've already had 1 shot. Shot 2 comes on Saturday.
So this is wheat malt. This was majority. This was 50% wheat. The rest was pale golden promise and flaked oats. That's where we were getting that thickness. It was
there
the
we
flaked
go.
oats.
That's the texture. Okay.
Yep. With the Hefeweizen 4 and Apollo for the hops.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Off of that keg.
The smell is so good, but the wheat is so big. The wheat is big, and then you got a really tasty.
But it's so clean. It's a clean taste, and I really like that.
What's the yeast in here? This is it's the Hefeweizen. That's
Yeah.
right, exactly. So and it's all there. It's a little bit brighter. It's not like a traditional ale yeast. It's got some Belgian.
Yep, citrus and apricot
angle.
notes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, and this is the thing, man, is that we knew coming into it that as soon as the weather turned,
yeah,
we were going to want something like this, and it has arrived at exactly the same time.
Right, exactly.
And ABV 5.6, nothing
5.6,
too crazy.
It's not like nothing too adventurous. I would like to see what this tastes like if we had aged it maybe one more week, maybe a week and a half.
Yeah,
right?
because we come at this stuff, because we cycle through fast, trying new stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't always have a chance to nap.
Well, once we get back
once
we get back into the studio, we'll have a little bit better. It's easier because we got more space, more carboys, and more kegs and all.
Well, and then the truth is, there's beers there.
I can't wait to see what In for a Penny is like.
Yeah, I'm saying that there's beers there that have had the chance to rest, but putting those into the rotation will give the rest of them that extra week they need, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm you should see what was the Marzan we did? Unified Grain Field Theory.
Yeah,
it looks amazing right now.
It's working.
Amazing. Yeah, it's lagering right now.
It's working. So. Yeah, Cloak and Stagger was our assassin one.
Yeah, that's still in the mix.
Is Mist Shroud? I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember what our theme was.
It was a Warlock theme, wasn't it?
Was it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully someone will help us. But kindled Ravenloft, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just.
It was the Mist of Ravenloft.
It's the Mist themselves, because we had done like Bloodweiser also, but that was just vampires. That wasn't Ravenloft. So, Kindled Sky says, "How long can a beer actually sit and improve with age? It depends on the style."
Years.
Yeah,
I mean, there are people that age beers for years.
But super hoppy beers, they're not the ones
different.
that.
Yeah,
they're not the ones that. Yeah, if you're having IPA, something like that, you're not going to get much benefit.
Typically, you don't age them, but some people do.
Yeah, some people do, but they tend to. If you're going to, it's going to have to be because it also has some kind of significant malt character that improves over time too.
Right.
But there's beers that need it. Like a barley wine is too hot. If you decide to just address it, right away, it's not going to be good. But you come back to that to rest it. That's one style. In that case, because the ABV is so high. But a lager wants to hang out, and that process just continuously improves itself.
Right. Times IPAs were invented essentially to resist the beer going bad, because it would be shipped on ships for a long time. So you would basically load it up with hops so that the beer wouldn't spoil.
Yeah, exactly. But that's different from aging. Like we're talking about in this particular context, we don't mean can a beer endure.
Yeah.
We're saying, is this a process that actually improves the beer as opposed to simply keeping it potable? That's a separate consideration. We're talking about aesthetics on this program, God damn it. No, none of the drugs. I mean, they didn't have a chance to do any stuff to me, aside from. I've actually gone through the interview regimen for when you get your COVID shot, and none of the things that are on the questionnaire.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, this is puerile. A couple of people are worried that this shit eater at this hospital, my encounter with the chicken is going to push it back. But no, I did a COVID swab there, and I came out fine. So that was the best part. Is like, in addition to the rest of this shit, then all of a sudden there's a COVID swab in the middle of the rest of it.
Oh,
and
God,
she didn't tell me. She just comes at me with this rod.
It's like, how do you feel about this lobotomy we're about to give you? You know,
I don't feel any good way about it.
Yeah.
A chicken did try to get me, or I tried to get the chicken and failed. Maybe that's
yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, sometimes you don't blame the chicken. Don't blame your tools.
True. All right. So let's get it. So we have looked through. We have looked through the other recipe. Is it time to, at long last,
hit the red dragon?
To hit the red dragon? Did we get all the way there?
I think we did, and I don't know what this could go in so many different directions.
The truth is, yeah, it's like, are we going to go for something that is? I mean, are we just going to get like right in your face and do the most obvious, most tropey stuff,
right?
Or do we? I mean, or do we get in there and try to mess around with things like? I mean, for me, smoked grains, I don't mind them like as a kink.
Yeah,
but it's not. Ultimately, I'd love to drink this and enjoy it.
Yeah, like I don't need like if I want this beer that I want to drink often. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love smoked beers, but I have one and I'm good for a while.
Yeah, that's not what I want. I want this range because in my mind, it's the Tiamat palate.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine Clues cooking up that like wood CNC Tiamat palate.
Right. And I mean, the thing is, you know, you look at it and okay, so we can go with a spicy beer. We can go with a fruity beer, like a red fruit, any kind of red fruit. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to go. I mean, you know.
Here, so let's pull up some of the classic stuff from D&D Beyond. It's never been easier.
Wow, really bringing that market.
Bringing it back. Precisely 0 money has changed hands. It's actually good.
Never been easier to get into D&D Beyond.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we really want to talk about role-playing games, I mean, D&D is not going to be the first game I recommend to you.
Yeah. I would love to play some Torchbearer right now. Let me pull up this ancient red dragon for everyone to see. Monsters are for Dungeons and Dragons. Is that it? Yeah. There we go. Okay. So here's what we got. Pretty intelligent.
Oh, hey, real quick before you continue. Time says that there's an upgrade kit for the Baymore 1600.
Okay.
That upgrades the panel and the drum motor. Interesting.
Wait a minute. Really? Because I'm having an issue with my Baymore.
But it might be
not really an issue, but like I need to do 2 roasts for 1 pound, right? That's what it's come down to.
Nice. Smoked pepper.
That's what my timing is.
Is that interesting? Subtrance. Yeah. Okay. So let's investigate this ancient beast.
So classic dragon, but huge con, huge wisdom, saves. I mean, very intelligent. This is your smog, right?
This is your smog.
Your smog. If it's legendary resistance, classic legendary resistance. You can choose to just succeed. Huge perception. Classic fire breathing.
Mm-hmm. So the red dragon is like the most like draconic.
Right.
It's like the most traditional.
It's the OG, right?
Exactly. It's like, this is the dragon. If you're thinking about Dungeons and Dragons,
yeah,
this is the one that's on the game screen.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, what do you do with that? So obviously it's, mountains, hills, it's, rocky fissure. Like look at here down at regional effects, rocky fissures within 1 mile of the dragon's lair form portals to the elemental plane of fire. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we want to, and look at water sources are tainted by sulfur. I mean, do we want to play into that, or do we want, do we want to go with a red fruit?
Yeah, exactly. So are we looking for red fruit, or are we looking for red pepper?
Right. I mean, yeah.
The truth is, so a smoked grain, I don't need it, right? You know what might be interesting is the stuff I'm seeing in here.
I like this
Which-
mango habanero.
Well, I mean, obviously that would be great, but we can get a smoked flavor
Mhm.
by essentially toasting these peppers.
Okay.
So not at the grain level where it's like a big soak.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about just because you would do this anyway to release their flavor, right?
So Underdog, Chipotle is a smoked jalapeno. Is
Yeah,
that how that works?
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that's really fascinating.
exactly. And what I would recommend, right, is it's not going to be a long soak. This is
Oh,
gonna be a secondary edition, right?
JD, I was thinking pomegranate. 100%. I was thinking pomegranate.
Pomegranate.
I really like that thought, right? So very cool idea. And maybe we do that as a pomegranate and a spiced, like you said, like we spice our own or cook our own pepper. And what are your thoughts on that?
That could be really good.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly like, which of those tastes, because we don't want to overdo it. But man, if you've got something sweet and fruity, because this is what we learned when we were eating a lot of dangerously hot things.
Right.
When you actually address a fresh pepper, even a spicy pepper, like a fucking scorpion pepper.
Yeah, that scorpion pepper did it for me. That made me understand a whole different level of pepper.
It's fruity.
Right, exactly. I was not expecting
delicious.
Yes, I wasn't expecting the taste. I wasn't expecting to enjoy some kind of taste of that pepper. I was just expecting to be like, blown away.
I was expecting to be overwhelmed by it, like
which we
like
were.
The capsaicin oil, yes, but
before that happened,
taste is there's no other word for it. It's delicious.
Yeah,
right. It's juicy and
that was not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, so I think that might be really, really interesting. And so in terms of like a Chipotle situation, they're smoked to dry them. This would be the easiest thing on earth to get, by the way. There's going to be all kinds of corner stores that have is the corner stores that we would go out in Redmond. It just wouldn't be super weird to have a section of votive candles alongside some other products. So that you can get these dried smoked peppers while you get a Virgin Mary candle. You can have them at the same time.
Sounds completely normal to me.
Yeah, I think that's a huge win. But the main thing is that they're already dry and ready to go. They're already toasted. They're ready for inclusion, right? We give them a quick soak, and we don't, and it's not a long one, right?
No, God, 2 or 3 days at most.
We hit that, and then I think there is a fruit component. I think that we just send it to the roof with the spicy, smoky chili with the fruit. That's it. But we're careful about how long the soak is, right?
Yes. So maybe we talk about the first thing we talk about should be fruit and spice, or just spice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like let's get our flavor profiles first.
Peppers, red fruits,
or cinnamon. I mean, cinnamon is another way to go with this, right?
Here, so spice, that type of spice, as opposed to heat, we're gonna do one of these for now. So let me put that first one up, just sort of give them that breakdown between those two, right? So I think that there is a case to be made to get the spice portion of this from something in the vein of a noble hop. I mean, I remember Velvet Rope.
Yeah, Tet's the first one that comes to mind, right?
Exactly. And then, when it's in there and that's your bittering hop, it offers that earthy spice that would be really nice underneath these other aspects.
And which is kind of,
I think this is just an ale, probably.
Which is kind of neat, because that's the magma erupting out of the ground, right? Like the spices coming from below,
from deep in the earth,
which kind of plays off the dragon's lair, which I think is really, really neat. Also, this makes me really want to play role-playing games at this point.
Yeah.
I'm jonesing.
Yeah. But the main thing that I like about it in terms of the like the chipotle, the dried pepper, is that it's already going to be prepped. It's already ready to do what you want it to do for the soak.
God, you know what I've been on a kick of is the cherry tomatoes, the roasted cherry tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
Freaking Lord.
That's all over. That was a huge meme on TikTok for a while.
Was it?
Is different cherry tomato, like different like baked cherry tomato dishes. A lot of emulsifiers and stuff. Oh, see, I say
smoked paprika. Yeah, I could do smoked paprika.
That's smoked paprika would also give you a cool, great color.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Incognito. I was all over BBSs, even as a little kid. I started doing BBSs when I was 11 or 12.
God,
I had that 1200 bod.
Prodigy. Remember Prodigy?
You heard what we had
Prodigy and CompuServe were the two that we kind of loaded up.
Yeah, we had Quantum Link, which was the one for Commodore 64 that eventually became AOL. But yeah, you can get a very cool base spice out of Tet. Yeah, Neon Graveyard. I was born in the 90s. Yeah, I suspect that, if by the time you're accessing this stuff, it's on the internet, it's a TCP/IP situation.
Oh, God, I still miss that dial-up tone.
Anonymous Prime. Mugwort. Yeah, add some little magic. Hey, so they're looking for the peppers and the fruit. So, and obviously we can hook that up.
Yeah.
But I think that we're already there with the chipotle. We don't want it to be there forever, right?
Yeah.
We don't, because that is a pretty dark toast.
Right.
We want the spice and we want the smoke, but I think you're going to have to sample this daily to know if we've gone too far.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have to thief it up.
Okay, so add a recipe. I think this is just an ale. I don't think we need to.
It's an ale because all of our decisions are in these additions.
Yeah.
In terms of the style, we just need a platform, and we're going to build that grain by grain, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, we can really just go anywhere we want with this.
Spicy Peppa is like, I'm so happy I tuned in for this. Yeah, this is your content. This is, yeah. I wish there was more pepper-based content on Twitch.
Whoa! Okay, nailed it. All right, so let's talk about Pico Green Mash profile. Okay. Let's talk about our ABV.
Welcome aboard. Yes. And so again, this is the fifth entry in our Chromatic Dragon series, right? In terms of ABV, each of the different dragons has sort of ABV has meant something distinct in each of the contexts.
Right. So how do we look at a red dragon and its ABV? I mean, is it the breath weapon, like the fire breath? That's probably going to be the spice level.
Exactly. That's our spice level. I'm not sure. What does ABV actually mean for this? Because we're using the rest of our additions to build the red dragon profile, right?
Right.
So it's like we're talking about a lower ABV, something between 4 to 5.
I mean, it's incredibly intelligent, right? So what is that? What does the intelligence mean?
Yeah. Does that mean it's on the lower end of the ABV scale?
Right. Because then it can trick you and
And then if you're getting up into 6, we're talking about the breath weapon directly, right? We're talking about a consistent, prolonged,
right?
So we'll go 4, 5, and 6. I think that's
I like that. I think that's great, and I think 4 defines the creature's intelligence. 6,
exactly. The idea is that it's
6
not
defines its ability to trick you and like, oh God, I'm so
and just roast you. Yeah. Mechanthrope, high ABV. Maybe that's its the profundity of its collection of
Oh yeah, absolutely.
treasures and artifacts.
That's a great idea. Dragon sneaks up on you with his long-term plans. Yeah, it gives you a 3, 5, and 10-year plan, and over a Zoom meeting. Smog, your background is quite beachy.
Exactly, but Styx is
I didn't like to keep it in the mountain today.
Styx is sort of getting at it, right? The ABV isn't the thing. It's got the Scoville from the roasted peppers, the Scoville and the smoke, and then the ABV is really like it has retained a low ABV because its int is so high.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Murky could be really great, I think, Orion Road. All right. No, they want the intensity.
They're bringing the heat.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, a couple more percent ABV is just going to assist in extraction. So
that's fine.
It's all to the G. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about our SRM. What do we want this color to look like? I mean, we can go anywhere.
Opacity is a separate consideration, but
yeah. I mean, if this is a red dragon, obviously, 30 or 26, 27 is a good color profile, right?
Yeah, Beckenbauer, I think a young dragon is called a wormling.
Wormling, yeah.
If I'm correct.
You are correct, sir.
So we're talking about this incredible heat. What are we thinking about? We're thinking about maybe
I mean, if we're going to actually put fruit in here, that's going to wipe out the lower color range anyway.
Right. But, maybe we're looking at maybe we're starting at 15.
Right. 15. I say start at like a golden 8 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8. The treasure hoard.
Yeah, that's that wealth.
I mean, actually, if we started at 3 and added pomegranate or whatever we're going to add to it, that might bring it up to an 8 or a 9.
True.
So, I mean, I think that's something we could be thinking about as well.
Okay, let's try this. We'll go with 3, 8, and 15.
And like 20, if you did 25, that's the scales of the dragon type of thing.
Right? Yeah. But let's give them some options to sort of chart like the narrative course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then down into that sort of like dark mist.
Yeah, we don't lose out on any of these choices.
God, it's real good, man.
I think the flaked oats is what
Mist Shroud. Well, yeah, because sometimes when we're checking it out at first, we forget some aspect of it until we come back to the show.
Right. And then it's like, oh, that makes sense.
The wheat, the thing that really sets this apart, I agree that if we had another week, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But the thing that sets it apart is that big wheat body against the flaked oat to soften that. Because with the wheat content, I mean, relatively speaking, wheat is just it's a harsher ingredient, and it provides structure, and I like it. But that shredded wheat thing feels a certain way. That flaked oats soften it out.
Right, exactly.
Piril, who can say?
All right.
Well, no, Tobias, yeah, we're having a super good time. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that we stumbled onto something really good. So if we start thinking about things in terms of like, obviously we can always do individuals and one-offs, but if we start thinking about things in terms of classification, so that we mine a vein of concepts and just get better at it the farther down we go, like that's fun. That's a good time for me. That's what I want out of a day. All right. 15 it is. And keep in mind, of course, these
like that.
editions,
Yeah.
especially this Chipotle edition,
Oh,
it's
I
going to
think
drop it through the floor.
I agree.
Chipotle peppers are dark.
Right.
But it's going to be the right taste, man. It's going to be the right taste.
I dig it. Okay, so that being said, where do we want to go with IBUs with this? So a typical pale ale is 30 to 50, right? But do we want to make this a little more hoppy and go above? And that's where a bite is, right? That's where the Dragon's Maw is, and make it bitey. But let's talk about that. If we go that hard on hops, how does that affect our fruit and pepper?
Exactly. Right? And it really depends. I think it really depends on what, because we're choosing a fruit and a pepper and a hop. I mean, here, first of all, we'll just get this up here. Because we're doing all that, we probably want to choose, in terms of our hop, we probably want to have a hop that's fairly, like maybe in that noble range, something that's very traditional, something that doesn't get out too far, because we don't want it to, we don't want to pig wrestle with our dry editions.
Right. Actually, what I'm kind of excited about is this gives me an excuse to go down to Pike Market and find peppers.
Oh, and get some real ingredients. Well, dude, while you're down there, man, don't forget to hit up Ivar's. Get down there. Yeah. Get that fish and chips.
I don't know.
Dude, my eldest, we were down there a couple weeks ago. You can like set up specific times to go to the aquarium.
Yeah.
And obviously you have your mask on and they have a specific path and stuff like that. But we hit up Ivar's and they didn't know about bread bowl soups.
What?
Well, it's just that
you mean the best kind of soup on the face of this fucking earth?
They didn't know, and they're like, what's a chowder bread bowl? I'm like, well, let me fucking break it down for you, kid.
Yes.
I'm about to blow your fucking mind.
I'll blow your mind even more.
You're not gonna believe this is legal.
So at Penzig, which is this big SCA event.
Oh, totally.
15,000 people. There was a restaurant or like a vendor that all they did were bread bowls. They did a breakfast bread bowl, which was scrambled eggs, sausage, cheese, onions, and it was like a breakfast omelet in a bread bowl. And then they did a macaroni and cheese in a bread bowl, soups in a bread bowl. It was unreal. That's where I eat every single day, 3 times a day.
Well, no, and they were like, done. Like, they're like stuffed, and they're like, I can't eat any more of this. And they're like, but I want to waste it. It's like, can I just like bake this and eat it for breakfast? I'm like, it's your bread bowl.
Yes, you can.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. I love bread bowl. New England clam chowder in a bread bowl. Done.
That's it. Well, I mean, I'm saying that's exactly what they got.
Good Lord.
It was a life-changing experience, because the Ivar's, there's a pretty like a savory like bacon type note in their chowder. It was life-changing. So we're looking for 30 IBUs bread.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So
yeah, 30 is at the southern tier. That's not what this beer is about.
No.
Right?
So I think we really need to let's talk about our base malts and how they play into this dragon. This is the classic dragon of all dragons in this game, right?
It's the dragon. It's so funny that we got. I think it's just because our chat is kinky.
Yeah.
Like, we got to the end of the whole 5 dragon cycle before they wanted to address like the traditional, most basic, obvious dragon
of all fantasy dragons in all realms, right? It's the red dragon, right?
This is it.
So the classic beer grain is going to be 2-row, and that's where we would go.
Well,
with it.
yeah, and maybe precisely because the Red Dragon is like the default.
Yeah.
2-row is the brewing grain.
Right. And it is classic, it is clean, it is crisp, and it is going to let the pomegranates or whatever fruit
exactly
and the spices do the talk.
This is a choice. Yeah. This is a choice to emphasize additions, right? And that isn't to say that the additions aren't going to be important if we choose another one. I'm just saying that, you know, even if we add 2-row, we may still be adding something else just to provide a little structure.
100%.
Right.
But this is where this is really the
this is the Mario of brewing grains.
Right. Or we could take, I mean, so what else can we denote from a Red Dragon, right? Does Maris Otter fit the profile? That's bready. Does Munich fit the profile? That is going to be more of a maltier flavor. Like,
yeah.
Does that denote magma?
Yeah. Or
right.
The treasury, I think, is what that does, right?
Right.
That's like the malt storehouse.
Demetrios has it with golden promise. That's going to be sweet. That's going to be give us a sweeter malt flavor.
Well, yeah, exactly. So is that like the honeyed words, like the cloying?
Either the cloying words or Stig's kind of got it. That could be the horde, right? I think the cloying honeyed words.
Golden promise.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's too on the nose. Now, golden promise.
Yeah, exactly.
Is just it's a sweeter grain that would be really nice underneath, and also the pun.
Right. That's for the horde, right? Munich is for the malty sweet tales that this dragon is telling you, right?
Yeah. Oh man. I'm sorry. I don't want to thumb the scale. I'm just saying that, like, as the pun's too good, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pun is too good.
We have a great local option.
We do.
We do.
We can get that Copeland product.
I agree.
Well, something happened to my beer. I guess I got to put some more in here.
Man, evaporated pretty quickly, huh?
Ruh-roh. Yeah, it's these increasing ambient temperatures.
Yeah, it just disappears.
I don't remember drinking it, so
yeah, I don't remember seeing you drink it, so it didn't.
And I wouldn't. I don't drink.
Yeah,
it's wrong.
So I don't know where we're going with this vote.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait for a while.
Yeah, I think we need to let this.
No, we're done. So, Golden Promise. Yeah, it's too funny. I mean, sorry. It's just too funny. And we've had great success with Golden Promise in the past.
It's delicious.
So what do we come in with? Golden Promise is never going to deliver the SRM that we've charted.
No, but we really don't have to move the scale far to get to that. What we're at 15 on the SRM?
Yeah.
That's not really a big tip. The question is, do we want to add any other base malts to this? Do we want to just add a little bit more pale just to crisp it up? Do we want to add some Munich to give it more malty characteristics? Or do we just want to say no? Let's just go straight Golden Promise.
Yeah, I mean, I think they crisp. When I think about the 2-pepper ale over at Lucky Envelope,
yep.
Part of what makes that work is the fact that it is crisp. It isn't a strong malt body.
No.
It's designed so if you think about like the sharpness and the heat, sort of like as the treble. Right. The malt underneath 2-pepper, and that's probably the best spicy ale I've had, and it's different every time you go, right? But the 2-pepper, I think, is good precisely because the malt stays away, right? So pale would provide a little bit of that. It would basically thin out a little bit more of that syrupy sweet. Give us a little bit more of a rail underneath there.
Munich.
What else would be good?
Munich would thicken it up a little.
Yep. So which is not bad, but it is different from the pale malt.
Yep. Pale's going to make it crisp and a little more crisp, and Munich is just going to really
do you want like a soft bed underneath there, or are you looking for something like a scaffold?
Right.
lattice work. Oh yeah, oats will definitely flatten out that sweet Orion Rogue for sure, and the oats will provide a nice little bed for. Oats might provide a nice little bed for the other tastes too.
Yeah, I mean, but so that's a two-way street that we can
Yeah,
go
it is.
down.
Yeah,
It's either, do we want that oat thickness and flavor,
yeah.
or
do we want the clean?
clean and
And
crisp?
now we've got sharp fruits,
Right,
and capsaicin, right?
right.
Oh man, I can't wait to try this.
I'm sorry. We should have put none here as well on this vote.
Oh, for the base layer.
Yeah, that was my bad. Because we don't have to put another malt, one of these other malts in there.
Well, here you're right. Here. So let me finish this poll. I'll just reuse it. Josh taught me the secret ways.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have.
No, nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
This is going to be fine. Now, but it's worth doing again.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Because exactly right, Orion Rogue. Yeah, because oat is a separate consideration from what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
These base malts are they're providing like the body of it. This is oats in this case is more like a mod. It's like a modifier for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my suspicion is that some people may feel like that's correct. Yeah, exactly. Beckenbauer said, "How can I not vote Munich with this username?" Exactly right.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly right. I was so delighted. So when I was out a bit of town last week, and it's just, you always love to see that local brewery doing its shit. And they had a Kolsch that you would have loved.
Oh, really?
And then Nickman, thank you so much for this up. No, I had a great time explaining the etymology of Kolsch to Brenna while drunk, which is more or less what I want to do all the time.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, great, fantastic. And just nodded.
It's like, so Cologne.
And really, when you get a Kolsch, you get this really cool bottle.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, so we're going to throw some Munich underneath.
Yeah, I mean, Munich's fun in this regard.
No, Munich's fun, but remember, the vast majority of this is Golden Promise. So we were already moving we already had a sweet base. We throw a little fruit on top of that, a little spicy pepper, toasted and dried.
Okay. So, do we want to, I mean, so here's the cool thing. We could be done with this grain bill right now. And then just go into hops and additions. Because this, I mean, think about it. This is a classic dragon. It doesn't have to be filled with all these crazy other elements.
It's the traditional.
It's traditional.
This is the model.
Right.
For dragons.
Right. So we could say we're good here. We're done. Do we want to add more caramel to this to make it richer, right? To make the Dragon's Hoard richer.
Yes, I mean, richness. I think as a word is going to do some labor for us here.
Right.
So, what options do we want to put in here? Like, we're good. It's basically saying, hey, let's just take it and let's just take our.
I would say none.
Let's take the money and run.
I would say a crystal.
For caramel?
Yep. Well, like a crystal 60 for caramel and color.
Take our SRM south a bit.
Actually, no. You know what? Take the crystal 60 out.
It's gone. It was never there.
It was never even fucking there in the first place. Piece of shit. No. For a caramel, we're gonna go with Special B.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's it. And
this is
a little bit darker too, right?
This is extreme caramel taste. This is gonna give us an extreme caramel. And the other one we're gonna put in there is Special Roast. This is going to give us a toasted biscuit.
A toasted biscuit alongside the roasted pepper.
Right. So this is the fire breath, right? This is a toasted aspect.
Now that's a fun choice.
Mm-hmm. So none.
Fallon says, "Dan, must be nice to be able to get special B." Well, we are blessed.
Yeah.
We are blessed to have Micro Homebrew up in Kenmore.
They're a treasure trove of.
Well, they're a collaborator, and obviously you can see in the upper right hand corner, like that's where we go to get all of our shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Fallon's got. I was going back up. I was over in my other pane, so I couldn't see it. Fallon's something like Crystal 60 or some kind of red wheat. These are fun choices.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a little roast. It put a little toasty biscuit underneath these other tastes. Mm-hmm. Again, whatever the channel decides is correct.
Right.
We just put the options out there. But the truth is that they don't fail. When they make these choices in aggregate, they don't actually fail. We can fail with a weird ingredient.
Right. All right. What was the ABV I got on this one?
The ABV on this bad boy is 6.
Oh, okay.
The number of the beast.
Literally. Jesus. Really on point.
Special roast. What a wild bill.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is wild grain bill Hickok.
Oh, wow.
Believe it.
Bringing that out.
Yeah.
And what was our color?
Color's 15. I mean,
Perfect.
before additions, trust me. Once we hit this with this roasted pepper, it's gonna go where it's gonna go. It's gonna get cool.
Right. So I think we're done with our grain bill right now. I don't think we need to add anything else to this grain bill.
We don't want to mess with this.
No, not at all.
I think we got to the end of this particular experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. So now let's really talk about.
Oh, yeah. This is so cool. Fallon says, I learned almost everything I know here about brewing, and I haven't bought a mass-produced beer in years. My favorite hobby started here like 2 years ago. That's fucking awesome, dude.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That brings me so much joy.
Right.
Well, and also I know, especially because, you know what we know, which is that, brew day, bottle day, a lot of times these are collaborations. Others benefit from this. Like they benefit from your hobby theoretically. But anyway, yeah, we Gucci. Let's get it.
Okay. So I think before we talk about our hop, I think we should talk about our additions.
Yeah. Because that's, we want to have that guardrail up first.
Right.
So we already know that the chipotle pepper, that's done.
Yeah, but so what kind of pepper is that? Is that a specific? Is that a jalapeno that's been?
Yeah. So those are they're smoke dried jalapenos.
Okay. And is that do we not want to go into any other realm of pepper with this, or do we?
I mean, I think if we're just literally being handed smoke dried spicy peppers, I feel like we have to take the W.
Okay.
And we're not talking about. I mean, and again, we're gonna have to. It's gonna get added, and we're gonna have to ride this thing, so that it doesn't get too far, so that it's ready to play with the rest of these ingredients, right?
Yeah. I don't know, Josh. I mean, this is the peppers. Are.
It's gonna have the pepper. It's gonna have the pepper flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that the difference, right, is that they're going to be soaking in an alcohol solution,
right,
which is going to aid in capsaicin extraction.
Right.
That's the key. That's the missing piece. Compared to some, Alan, thank you so much. Compared to so much, I mean, compared to other peppers, yeah. But ultimately we still want something that's going to be good here to drink. It's going to have smoke. It's going to have spice. It's going to be extracted by the 6% ABV, and we really do need to get a fruit up on top. Right. So what do we think the right fruit is?
That's a good question. So one easy, I like the pomegranate. I think that's kind of a neat idea.
Well, pomegranate has a rich, sweet, like dark, tangy, like it's a really complicated addition. And it's quite rare too, because it's so expensive. Like you don't see a lot of pomegranate in brewing.
Right. So what other fruits? Yeah, I mean, we could use dragon fruit. We've done that before.
Yeah, dragon fruit is pretty gentle typically.
And it's not going to add a red color. So it's actually white on the inside.
Yeah, but the truth is that starting at 15 and then heading south from the Chipotle.
I like mango. That's kind of neat.
Mango is fucking so smart.
Like a Chipotle mango.
Fuck. That is really, because that's a mega syrup sweet.
Yeah,
that can fight. See, that can fight against the rest of this shit with ease.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's gonna be wrestling. Yeah, underdog egg is correct. I mean, dragon fruit. I love the pun, but the fact is, it's just not. There's not much there.
Cool name, boring flavor.
Well, and some part of it might be. It just might be the dragon fruit that we get.
Yeah.
Peach.
Oh, that's interesting.
That would be good. Like in barbecue, can you see it?
Yeah. What about apricot? Is that too?
Apricot is just a it's a peach sweet with much higher minerality and density.
Interesting. Okay.
It isn't a bad combo.
If that's the case, I think I'd rather go for straight peach.
Yeah, peach is gonna be a richer syrup. Pomegranate, mango, and peach. I feel like we're good on fruit additions here.
Yeah, underdog. I think that's a really cool, good way to put it. Mango is the most popular fruit in the world. That makes sense for an archetypal dragon. That's actually
no. There's a case. There's a case to be made. I mean,
raspberry's great too. Raspberry.
We stay putting raspberry and stuff. Let's try one of these a little bit outsider type stuff, especially against that smoky stuff. And these are all from the chat too.
Yeah. I actually like what Underdog said. If it's a classic fruit, and this is the
and there's so many different types of mango too. Yeah, I mean, soon. I mean, it's not going to be long. Soon we'll have access to all the goodies in the yard.
I know, and we need to do another mystery.
Well, we had this early on in quarantine. Like this our blueberry bush, it actually produces too much fruit for a family to eat. I mean, Brennan, we had to make up shit to get this stuff bopping, but I mean, we could easily make compotes.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to actually make a regular puree. Boil the juice down. Right?
Yeah,
I have to do it for the figs. Which, by the way, I got to figure out where to buy figs.
My eldest, JD lady, that's what we had to start doing. The lady that does piano lessons for my daughter Ronya, like we were like, hey, please come take this fruit. So Fallon started added blueberry mash to the cream ales and can't keep it in stock for sure.
That's great.
Oh yeah, that sounds fucking amazing. And also blueberries love it up here in the Pacific Northwest. I have 3 varieties in the yard.
That's wild. Can you taste? Is there a dramatic taste?
Absolutely. The main one is the jelly bean. That's over by the gate, the front. Oh yeah, PCC's got all kinds of kinky shit, and it's in our neighborhood too. I mean, if you not in the neighborhood, but it's like if you're down this way, you'll be able to push just a little bit farther. It's done by Mox.
Right. So anyways, back to the difference in the blueberries. There is a dramatic, noticeable difference.
It's huge. What different size, color, taste, all of it. We have the really small ones. We have the really small ones. We have a huckleberry bush as well.
Okay.
In the back, and then a blueberry bush, and then we have the jelly bean varietal.
The what?
Jelly bean. It's one of the blueberry types.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're massive, and they're massive, and they taste like candy right off the bush.
That's amazing. So huckleberry, is that essentially the same as a blueberry? I mean, is it? No.
Nah. You'll find out if you look online. Some of it's regional.
Yeah.
Some people call huckleberries blueberries.
Well, yeah, that's when I first came out here. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's just a blueberry." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
It's definitely not. I mean, but the only reason it's important to me is because I grew up eating them in the backyard, and so it's like for me the difference is really straightforward.
Doval, we always have this. We do always have this huckleberry discussion, and I always
fucking good. Yeah. Anyway, so they want the pomegranate.
Wow. No, I was thinking,
but I like it. That's a dark. Yeah. It's dark, tart, sweet. Yeah, Loganberries are super cool. Agreed. But that's the combo, right?
Yeah.
And luckily, it shouldn't be super hard, even if it was just even as a juice addition.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be impossible to get this stuff and provide it. But I mean, the optimal scenario, of course, is going to be a soak. So,
okay. So the first hop we talk about is Tet.
Yep, precisely because it offers that sort of herbal base sweet, right?
Spice.
Yeah, exactly. No, not sweet. It offers that like a really like sophisticated, on point cinnamon or cardamom angle.
Yeah.
From the hop when used as a bittering hop.
Right. What are your thoughts on First Gold?
Tell me more.
It is fruity, it is citrusy, it is floral and spicy.
Really?
And if you really want to throw in herb and piney, you can.
So go down that list again. I mean, that's all the tastes, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically like a hoard of gold, right? Think of marmalade, magnolia, sweet, tangerine, citrusy, and spice.
Wow. Something compelling there. It's just a matter of which parts of this we want to come from the hops.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to give us that citrusy tangerine flavor and spice from the hop as well.
Wild. So do we want to go Tet and First Gold?
Do we want to? Is there any other flavor we want to kind of talk about?
Well, let's dial in down here. Yeah. So Thalin is going for other like white saws or hallertau. I mean, basically, others in that noble category, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Hallertau Pearl in cold extraction pepper, chili, and curry notes. Whoa.
Yeah, Saz is going to be mild and earthy and spicy, right? If we want to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really, not super spicy. So
yeah, but it might be a way to get at some Tet stuff and just play it down a little bit so that the rest of our vibe emerges.
Right. Yeah, instead of letting, so we're not blowing it out of the water with spice from the hops.
Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, Mechanthrope, you're exactly right. Any of the nobles are going to have those classic, there's a reason those beers are famous.
Yeah.
It's going to have real nice, a real solid baseline bittering.
Yeah.
But I suspected, and I have been proven correct, that the First Gold, the pun is too powerful.
Yeah, that's true.
It's too potent, right?
But I think, pun aside, I think it actually will add some really great characteristics to the beer. Citrus and spice.
Oh, I think it's also the correct choice. Yeah.
I mean, again, any of these choices are going to be great.
Yeah. Essay, wait a second. I thought you were gone. What are you doing here? You gotta go.
Yeah. Ha! It's too hard to resist.
Just can't get away.
So we thinking, first gold is gonna take this one? I don't know.
I got a good feeling.
I got a feeling.
Brandon and Jar, we're talking about 6, the number of the beast.
What was our IBU? It was 30, right?
30. This is perfect. This is like when a plan comes together type situation. This is getting dialed in so nice.
When a plan loves its brewsmiths. Yeah. Agreed.
Bold.
Boom. Done. I don't think do we want to do another hop edition?
Talp, thank you so much. I mean, I say no.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think we let everything else do the talking on this one.
I mean, so much of it is done correctly.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the malt bill has got some ornamentation. It's not crazy, but it does have some texture.
Right.
These additions are going to sing, and then the first gold is going to provide the like the obsidian dais upon which our ritual will commence.
Right.
So I think we're okay here.
Yeah, I think we are too, actually.
Nothing dry. Yeah, our dry addition style are going to be the chipotle and the
the pomegranate. Okay, so classic. I mean, if we want to go classic, we're going with the American Ale yeast. This is the OG, just like the Red Dragon, this is the classic yeast to use. It is clean, it is crisp, and balanced.
Yep. And so there's a lot to advocate for that.
Right. What else could we do with this?
Like, the American Ale yeast. You know about it. You've had it. You've experienced it.
Right.
Man, do you remember when we did that 2 Beers collab? And we had basically handmade our test batch.
Yeah, it was real cool.
And then
got pictures from that.
And then we brought that over, and then they just opened the bottom of the other fermenter and just put the yeast plug from the bottom right into it. It
was great. So cool to see that in person.
Hops for teacher, fading at the edges, monstrous. Yeah, exactly. Yeast, but listen, I didn't like seeing it, but I mean, the beer turned out great. We made a fun smash ale.
Yeah.
And then had a chance to drink it with everybody together.
Another one, I think another cool kind of yeast would be the West Yorkshire Ale.
Tell me more.
It produces a full chewy malt flavor, but finishes dry, producing famously balanced beers. Expect moderate nutty and stone fruit esters.
Interesting. I think. Okay.
Those are 2 good choices.
No, but both definitely cool. The Yorkshire's just got a little bit more ornamentation, right? But I like that dry at the end. No, we have not tried brewing with Kvik yet.
No. But listen to this. White Labs put out a classic ale yeast spelled with a K.
Oh boy.
Traditional English ale style yeast produces ester character and allows hop flavor through. That's interesting. Leaves a slightly sweet malt character in ales. Where we go? Oh God, is it? Oh, it was a knife fight for a second.
No, they want that chewy malt, so they want a little bit of structure there. Come here, Booze. I know you're scourged by these enemies. Come here, pup. I know. If someone wants to clean the windows, I know that's an active threat. Come here, man. I know. It's very hard. It's very tough times out there for a young pup.
Yep.
Rough stuff out there.
Wild world.
Uh-huh. You're all right. You got it. Jesus Christ. I know. You're a good boy, and you've done everything you can to defend this family. I respect it. I think you're doing a great job. All right. No, look, man, they want the West Yorkshire, by God, and they'll receive it.
Well, there it is.
It's okay. All right. I know there's a strange man. I don't like them either. They are malevolent. They're demons. They ride with the host of hell.
Well, somebody has to.
Right? You got it. All right. Now. Well, we'll see. I'll hold him for now. I'll hang on to this pup for a second. I mean, theoretically, they're outside, but that's not going to keep him from freaking out.
Right.
All right. Now, so I feel like we have reached the naming portion for our Red Dragon beverage.
This is for all the gold, right?
It is. So let's take a look at this, chat.
Pomegranate. Wow. Fathomless Fire, Primal Fear. Great.
Fathomless Fire. Again, it's whatever I can see on that
Cloud's
bottle,
cloth.
right?
Huh.
Fathomless Fire. Horticulture.
Wow.
Red and brew and craw, you goose.
Fantastic.
You're okay, pup. You got this. You got this.
Molten Horde.
Magmail.
Magmail.
Some winners there.
Red box. Oh, yeah.
Horde of the Rings.
Wow.
You dork.
Brimstone Bite. Fine ale form. Yeah. Molten Horde. Yeah. Hero's Ruin. Yeah.
Horde of the Drinks.
Wow. Yeah. Way to go, Brianish.
Mm-hmm. Couple winners there. Oh shit, it's a dragon.
Huh?
Oh, underdog, I can say, oh shit, it's a dragon. Here's a name. I know. There's a lot going on out there. That's right. That's right. All right. Let me put this in front
of the.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if Mike is ready.
Short worm memory.
Dread retention. No, worm notice is good.
Yeah.
And dread retention is also good.
Drake and Ale. Oh, Jesus.
All right. I think we got some winners here. Yeah. There's definitely some gross shit. Now, can you look in our name list and see if there's a smoke and mirrors?
Yeah, I don't think there is. But let's just double check. Give me a minute. It's going to take a fucking minute to go through the whole list.
Oh, yeah. Do a search.
Yeah, that's not as fun.
I don't like to, and I'm not gonna.
Listen.
So fuck off.
It's really cool to go down 130 some odd beers. It's way cooler.
I mean, I'm not even mad. It's way cooler to do that. I agree.
Yeah. No, we didn't. We haven't done smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Then smoke and mirrors shall enter the poll. All right, so take a look at this product. See what you think. That's right, I know. I know what you like. You like good pets.
I'm just going to chill here. No big deal.
I haven't celebrated Walnut's birthday yet, but that's just because I'm an adult.
You know, gotta work.
I don't have any problem with the ritual. Okay,
there's a couple here.
Yeah, Fathomless Fire does have a certain.
It does have a ring to it. Yeah, it really does. I don't know. It's winning by a bit.
Nah, now it's taking it away. Fathomless Fire, man, you can't hate it.
Right.
Like you can totally see it on there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fathomless Fire it is. Precious chat. Even now, my ally, Mr. Mike Krahulik, is preparing his stream engine.
Stringent?
If you will. Yeah. Stringent Smith, obviously Airwolf, a great product.
Yeah.
But they're currently dialing in their art station experience.
Mm-hmm.
Piril says, can we get a reminder of the full list of the 5 dragon beers are called then? Absolutely.
Sure. Fathomless Fire, Mutually Assured Destruction, Everwinter, Black Fathom.
Or Black Flagon.
Black Flagon, and Venom in the Veil.
It is a great list.
Yeah, real cool.
It is just rock solid. And every one of them is great. Right?
Isn't a group of dragons called a flight? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, that's perfect. Niekman, that's exactly. Like, why not? I mean, I think we just take it from right here and we just move right into chromatics.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be a crazy list and it'd be a lot of fun, I think, too. It'd be a lot of fun to make something cool for that selection of recipes. I've been talking to Alyssa about it. About what we could do to put together a book that includes some of these recipes. and she's sort of figuring out like what it would cost to do right now. So the dream is here. It's present. It's always being processed. Now, yeah, we got to get to Bahamut. We have to get to Bahamut, right? So Mr. Kahulik says that he is ready to take up the product. Yes.
Excellent.
Gamer Gout for sure. As soon as Mike is done, I'm going to be throwing on the golf stream. I'm going to have to get warmed up because there's probably going to be a golf battle come 2:00 against our ancient foes. So come Wednesday, there will be another battle for you to watch and enjoy. Godspeed, everybody. Thanks for rolling through for another episode. Obviously, special guest, Mr. Bennett.
Always good to see him.
Supports you 100%.
Yeah.
And we'll take it to the next level. We'll see you next week.
See you.